fam, it's your favorite pimp partner, Mr. Diamond, back at you again, man. And like I said, we on call for it all, man. And like I told you, what we do from this point forward, man, I'm bringing you the real, the positive. I'm bringing you the cats that done influenced the hood, man, the real hood entrepreneurs, the cats that done rescinded and it really got it out the mud and turned it into something good, man. Took them dirty ass lemons and turned it into some real sweet lemonade with no seed, no pulp. So with that being said, and no further ado, I'm gonna introduce you to a man who we know as Curly. This man is he'll let you know what he did before he went and did 21. God damn.
Calendar.
My man did 21 calendar. He's gonna let you know what he did before the 21, man. And then he's gonna let you know how after that was done and over with it, he got through it, man. He rescinded all that the hood was trying to give him. And like I said, turned them lemons into some real sweet lemonade with no seed, no pulp. So without further ado, I present Curly. What's good, Mr. Curly?
It's just the same old thing, man. You know, living and surviving, man, in this world.
Already, man. So listen, man, what I want to do, man, is get a people a little insight on what you used to do before you went down, what the people call the streets. I don't know how they call it. You know, I don't know if you're a doughboy or pimp or so-called. I don't know whatever you did.
I was caught up young in these streets, man. By being caught up young in these streets, you know what I'm saying? I was into the ripping, the colors. I was into the jacking. I was into the streets, what you call the streets, what we growed up as the streets, you know what I'm saying?
Right on.
Something that cost me my freedom for a long time. It cost me over 20-some years of my life.
Ooh, man, that's a mean lick right there.
Yeah.
So on the jack tip, like what exactly, you don't have to tell the exact thing, but what part of the streets got you sent in?
I caught attempted capital murder, man, which is a robbery, and a robbery consists of more than one crime. It consists of somebody getting injured in the robbery.
Oh man, and I heard attempted is worse than the actual thing because the person can actually tell it.
That's the thing about it. A lot of people don't know they out here, you know what I'm saying, holding people hostage and everything. You gotta understand this here, you know what I'm saying, not to give no pointers to murder. But the thing about it is, the thing about robbery and attempted capital murder, your victim is still alive. By your victim still being alive is that when it's time for you to come up, them people, it don't matter how you done rehabilitated yourself, they don't want to see you back out here in these streets because they still remember what you done to them.
Wow, man, that's mean. That's cold. And I heard too, before I ever went, that it ain't really no pittance in the penitentiary. That's a schoolhouse for being a more inclined gangster, criminal, whatever it is.
And that's what a lot of things that go on in prison, man, is really just people narrates and gets together about more things to do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have those that's sitting in there that's trying to seek knowledge on how to grow as a man, but a lot of times it's you in there, you trying to speak about how you can do better on doing what you were doing or something different that you can do.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody, the minds is rolling on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did a lot of time, man, and I did my time hard to begin with, man. I was fighting, I was in trouble, man, with the AC. You know what I'm saying? I did all that. Then I growed up in there, but when I growed up in there, I growed up to understand this, man, hey, man, it's more in life than physical.
Yes.
You know, it's more than like to being physical about everything. So I started finessing the prison system.
Already.
I started hustling in the prison system where it's like a lot of people that know me, that did time with me, you know what I'm saying? I started changing the unit. I started supplying and making sure everybody eat.
Oh man.
Not just me, not just my homies at the time, not just my homies from my hood. I made sure everybody eat. Black, Mexican, white, it didn't matter because one thing about it is, you know what I'm saying, we all doing the same thing, we doing time.
Yes.
If you're on the page with me and you doing time the way I'm doing time, you know what I'm saying, I was helping.
Hey man, that's cool. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I ain't really never heard nobody set it up like that. So that made me think like, was that a move to? Was that a move of your character? Like, man, I'm a good dude. I'm in a fucked up place. Let me let my good light shine. Or was that a strategic move to set it up to let people know that you was the man who could get shit or whatever?
Nah, it's like this here. You know, I can't speak my character because other people would speak your character because like this here, it's within me.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody that know me know one thing about me is, hey, I I never been a shiesty person. I ain't never been the type of person that mess over nobody. I've been the type of person that's like this here. I want to see you eat too, and I don't care if you eat in a way where you grow and you make more than me. It don't matter.
Right.
As long as we all eat, we all safe.
Yes.
When it become unsafe, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that you might feel you be getting too big headed. I'm gonna get out your way. It ain't gonna be no drama about me getting out your way. I know how to move around.
Right on. And that's probably the best move.
Yeah.
Before we get too far ahead, man, okay, let's go back a little bit before again. Now, before you went in, you how early was it? Like, how old was you when you started getting involved in jacking and all this shit you was doing?
I was 12 or 13 years old. I grew up inside Dallas, man. My early years of my life was inside Dallas, man. Right here on these streets that I have an establishment right now.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? But I grew up, I went to Joe's Jerry World, I went to Pearl Sales. I started off at John D. Hood,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Until my mom, she moved me to Oak Cliff. But I still spend a lot of my time inside Dallas, so I was still known in the South because this is originally where I was raised and born in.
Now, 12 or 13, like, what was it, a thought or something? Like, what came to you that made you think, I need to go and do this? Like, was it you seeing the OGs having paper, or was it you just hungry?
It was the OGs, you know what I'm saying? It's like to see a lot of credit wasn't given to them, but they're really standard points of what was going on in the world, man. A lot of people say this here, man. They say they G is somebody that put it down in the hood for them. But my G was the older people, man, I grew up around. I seen Bread Man, Ray Charles, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ted, all of them, I seen them having money, being successful, and didn't have no drama to come with it.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? Them was my G, you know what I'm saying? I respected them. You know what I'm saying? I respect my OG.
Yeah.
I respect him to the fullest because guess what? All the knowledge I got it from him.
Yeah, really, I got you.
But I respected them because they were the ones that was feeding the streets, making sure the family eat. I remember when I was 6, 7 years old coming home from Joe J. Rowe, I remember going up to the walnut room and walking in the door. Old man Rock would give all the kids $1 and give us dollars and tell us, all right, I love y'all, go take it, go get y'all something, but get up out of here.
Yeah.
He didn't want us involved in the environment, but he also made sure that we had $1 in our pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you know what? And I'm not knocking that. To me, that's like one of the coolest moves that an OG could make. But at the same time, I remember my Uncle Chi doing us like that. And for me personally, that made me always want to have dollars in my pocket.
Yeah.
Did that have that kind of effect on you?
Yes, it did, because the thing about it is, it's like this here. When you're influenced by that, you're gonna want to lead to that.
Yes.
And I was influenced by that, and I wanted to be like them.
Right.
By me wanting to be like them, I chose things. But the thing about it is, my routes of how to get it wasn't on their level. The things I was doing, they would have never done.
Okay, so that's a good point. Now the things you was doing, you're a young boy at this time. You ain't fully developed into what society deems a man. But you know, when we young, we think we men anyway.
Yes.
But at that age, 12, 13, 14, and you say you was doing things your way, like how was you learning? What was giving you that knowledge? What was your drive to go out and do whatever it was you were doing?
Well, the knowledge was this here, man, that the first time I went out with my homeboys, you know what I'm saying? I sat back and watched
Right on.
the whole movement of everything.
Soaked it up, sponge.
And I learned it. So when I learned it, when I got around different people, I put them on what I was taught. So when we got on what I was taught, I feel like I was the leader of what was going on. Mm-hmm. So by being a leader on what was going on, I had to give them the right direction on how we're gonna do this here. Say, look, when we found up here, we're gonna be masked up. When we go up here, we're gonna handle this here. We're coming up out here, but we're gonna make sure everybody get out safe.
God damn, you was thinking like that at that young of an age?
I had to. You know why I had to? Because I growed up like this here. That I protected my mother, because my mother is a person that raised inside out. My mama had a club on Lamar Street called JJ Line, right next to Catfish Smith.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
You know, and I used to have to go up to the club at that age and sit up in there late nights with my mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To make sure my mama get out the door and nobody don't call herself trying to jack up.
So you was already a protector.
I growed up like that.
Right.
I growed up without my father being in my life.
Right. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that absence of that particular figure had something to contribute to the decisions you made?
Yeah, a lot of.
Yeah.
And by me being a father now, I know it played a big part.
Yes, sir. Yes,
it's
sir.
the direction you give your child.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it is, my father wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? My father didn't even stay in Dallas. My father wasn't there, so by him not being there, I feel like this here, I was a man at 10, 11 years old.
Ooh-wee.
I never believed in a stepfather.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't, you might come over here, you might talk to my mom, but you ain't staying there.
Yeah.
That was my attitude about life, you know what I'm saying? And today, my mom is 81 years old, she's still alive, and she'll tell you to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was. I always been that person. My brothers was a little different from me.
Yeah.
But I always been that person toward mama and toward people, period, in general.
Man, that's beautiful. So you mentioned your brothers. As you grew into your, I'm gonna say, criminal enterprise, so to speak. Did you allow your brothers and family members to be a part of what you had going on?
Not at all.
Okay, you want to elaborate on that?
Not at all, because I got an older brother, and my older brother was into breakdancing. He was in the nice clothes. He was into women. He was into all that there. So he had a whole nother lifestyle going on.
Right.
So I would never tell my older brother what I had going on. And my little brother, I would never put him in it if the repercussion of what, the things of what we get out of it, or I make sure he good, but I would never put him in it because that's not something that I want my brother to, I've heard the stories about how innocent people lose their life behind people that's doing wrong. And I would never include my family in something like that.
Yeah. I strongly believe that's a double-edged sword. It's like your family can be the best thing for you, but they can also be the worst thing for you for a whole lot of reasons, man. So I admire that and I respect that. So now dig this. You a young man, you making moves, you getting money, you giving out instructions in game, you making sure everything good. Was there ever a time, like you say, y'all was mashed up, skied up, ready to get it? Was there ever a time when you was probably just chilling, maybe watching your car, anything, and somebody say, "That's that nigga right there who did that"? Did you ever have any of those kind of blowback situations?
I'm not gonna blow myself up and say that I've had them frictions because them frictions ain't never came to me. But it's like, see, I'm the type of person that when I was young, 14, 15 years old, I had a lack and everything. I was already, in the streets. So I wasn't the type, like a lot of these young cats here that had a live music going on. Because the era I growed up in is like this here. The red light will get you.
Yeah.
So I had that music down.
Yeah.
And I paid attention to what was going on around me. You know what I'm saying? My surroundings is everything, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I ain't never been the type, if it ain't nothing about going to do some work, and doing work is going to make some money, I ain't rolling no 3 or 4 people in the car, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That just ain't never been me. It still ain't me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't roll like that there. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how I operate. That ain't never how I thought about operating because I know one thing is like this here, that we can call it a best friend. If you got that back seat for this money that we just got that's sitting up in this front seat, he'll blow my head off.
Yeah, you don't never know when that's gonna happen.
You never know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like this here, I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world because if I was the smartest person in the world, I would have went through the trial and tribulations I went through in life. But it's like this here, I always think my situation before I put myself in a situation.
Yeah. And then plus, again, speaking from my personal experience, when you're doing things and it's going, in your opinion is going well, you feel like you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
you do.
You feel like you got to figure it out, and that's kind of like a safety net that turns into a noose later on.
Yeah, it do. It always is because you know what? Once you get knocked, you know what? You're going to sit up there and you're going to think 100 times. You're going to say, man, this is my mistake. Man, this is what went wrong. This is what went wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It all went wrong because one thing about it is, man, I played football when I was young, man, everything, man. I was athletic, man, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't make total bad grades to not be in school.
Right.
I made bad choices in life.
So you was actually attentive in school?
Oh yeah, man, I love to go to school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a part of life because that's where what we already knew, man. That's why all the little girls, man, all the pretty girls, the ones that wanted something in life was.
That's big there. They was at school. And for me, my husband started at school.
Yeah.
But man, that's crazy, man. Let me ask you this. Let's move up a little forward. So the thing that you did that got you actually caught and sent to the joint. You said there was a situation where it was
Aggravated robbery,
aggravated
which
robbery.
is attempted capital murder with the offense of being somebody get injured in the robbery.
Okay, now that particular situation right there, when that was going on, was you aware in your mind, oh man, this shit is going bad, this might be my last rodeo?
No, I wasn't aware of that there because the simple fact is, man, the choice I made is like this here that I got to the point where I never been a weed smoker. I ain't never did no hard drugs. No, I don't have no track of being no hard drug addict, smoking weed. I smoked weed for my first time when I was 16 or 17 years old.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right on.
But I ain't never been the type, you know what I'm saying, but I had started drinking at a young age.
Yeah.
So me and my partners that day before we did this here, you know what I'm saying, we got that MD.
Right.
They had just come out, this is 1990, they had just come out with that banana red.
Woo, that Mad Dog Banana Red, I remember that shit.
They had just came out with that there, man, and we got it. And the thing about it is, when we got dressed to leave, we left it in the trunk. And it got hot and we started drinking. So the natural mind that I would have, I wasn't focused.
Yeah.
But I had that venom in me. Let's do it.
Right on. Right on.
But that venom in me took me to a stage, man, where I blanked out.
Oh, well, you didn't have your regular canvas one in front
Because
of
everything that we asked for was given to him. I blanked out and shot this man.
you. Right on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I can't say this man gave me a reason to do it. He ain't give me no reason to do it. I made a bad choice.
Right on.
By me making a bad choice, I had to go pay for that.
Right on. And so that right there got you the full 21.
It got me 25.
And you did 21 off the
21 on
25.
that.
Whew. Okay. All right. So let's move on now. You faced with in your mind 25. Now, anybody who looking at this, like when I first see you, my first thought ain't Cali. You know what I'm saying? My first thought is that's a man who's gonna take care of business if he have to.
Yeah.
But when you first got faced, when the judge done sentenced you, all the trials is over with, you headed to the clink, you know you finna be there. It's your first time probably not getting arrested, but first time actually going into the prison system.
Yes.
How was that? Was that a scared, nervous? What was your thought process?
It wasn't no scared nerves, but it's the fact is that like this here that, you know, I always thought it like this here that it's always gonna be somebody. I don't care who it is in life, you're gonna always have somebody that might try you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I gotta be ready for this here. But I growed up in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give my city all the sparks in the world. I grew up in Dallas. Being in that county jail, to me, was worse than prison.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was worse than prison. You know what I'm saying? If you can go to that, back then, to that government center in that old county,
Yeah.
and you can survive what you finna face up in there with what's going on there, prison's gonna be a cakewalk.
Oh, really? Okay, that's a good way of looking at it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I looked at the fact is like this here, that I ain't scared, but if I face something, I'ma deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I done. I deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had situations in the county, got into it with people, got into it with dudes, you know what I'm saying? Because in our county, man, it was greedy, you know what I'm saying? They say the greedy road, it was greedy Dallas.
Greedy. Especially government center back in the day. I remember that motherfuckers were trying their best to get sent to death.
Yeah.
I remember them days. Okay, so now what unit was you on?
I started off on Vito.
Okay, so on Vito, you started off there. Let's go right there. And you in there, They done already booked you in and everything. Tell us a little bit about the first beginning of your prison sentence.
The first beginning of they said Pt1 is a gladiator unit. It's all youngsters. They know everybody over there young. You know, they young either out of somewhere in Texas.
Right on.
They young and they got aggravated offenses.
Right on.
So by they having aggravated offense, everybody in there, the majority got something to prove.
Okay.
Where they from, their neighborhoods, everything is something to prove, you know what I'm saying? So when I get Pt1, you know, I peeped out of little things, but then I got to the point where I still had a young mind. So by me having a young mind, I started doing young things. By doing young things, I started getting into it. And it's like this here, man, honest to God, true, man. My population time for when I first started out, I was in population a year and 2 months before I was in AXA for assault on officer.
Man. And Beto?
On Beto.
Now, before you went to Beto, did you already have knowledge that it was a gladiator unit? Did you already know what it was?
Yeah.
Now, explain to the people right quick what's a gladiator unit.
A gladiator is what the system designed for a lot of young people that's catch aggravated cases in Texas.
Right.
What they do is, what they try to do is, they try to keep people that's non-aggravated away from you, and they send all the aggravated people together to different units they have for non-aggravated inmates.
Yeah, right on. And in other words, it's where it's going to be a whole lot of fighting because everybody got something to prove.
Everybody got something to prove. Everybody trying to prove who they are, trying to make a name for themselves.
Right on. So now you in there, you done had a few roadblocks, but you wasn't really no crash dummy. It was just you being young-minded.
Young-minded, man. No, not doing crash dummy thing because the mission on everything I done it because I wanted to do it. It wasn't no choice for nobody else, and I didn't do nothing grouply. Everything I do, all the fights that send me from minimum custody to close custody is because of my choices.
Right on. What's some of the things you had to fight about? Or some of the things you chose to fight about?
Basketball court. You know, the thing about it in prison, basketball in the world is a whole different ballgame from basketball in prison.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying?
How so?
Is you're gonna get touched.
Okay.
You're gonna get touched. If you don't want to be touched, you don't need to be out here. You know what I'm saying? And then think about it, you might get touched in a way where you don't even want to accept that.
Yeah.
So there it is, y'all in too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then another thing is like this here that we could just be walking around the yard and somebody say something. Let me look at that.
Yeah, if you don't respond to that.
Let me look at that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or we can just be on the waist, and I feel like I'm next to hit this iron, and you skip.
Yeah.
I'm next, and you just get up on the waist. We got a whole nother problem. You know what I'm saying? Something that once you mature, you look up. Hey, bro, I'm after him.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? But then I was young, so I let it happen, so I can do what I want to do after it. You know what I'm saying? You know, being immature, man. You once you mature, you look at all the bad mistakes that you have chose and made, and you look at it like, man, you were looking for trouble.
Yeah. I mean, like you said it earlier, young minds make young thoughts.
Yeah.
So now, what you got into it with a guard? That's what sent you to close custody.
To the AXA, I was already on close custody.
Oh, so that's what sent you to AXA. What'd you get into it and get on the guard about?
Man, the guard, we was on lockdown.
Okay.
I was on Beto, and we was on lockdown. And the guard told me, hurry up, and then jumped in my face. So by him jumping in my face, it came to the level where, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking at, I'm talking to you, I'm talking back to him, and we argued, and he started spitting toward my face. You know what I'm saying? His talking, not spitting into the way of him spitting in my face. But talking like, get out of my face. You know, what you say? I fired out.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's almost to the point when you're in a situation like that where you have to. But did you like after that? Did you come up with the thought, shit? I might need to keep my paws on these inmates and leave the guards alone.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't, bro. The whole thing about it is, I'm gonna show you something. You know, everybody think they tough. It took me to go behind that wall and be in that cell 23 or sometimes 24 if they ain't got enough guards to give you that hour of break. When I went in that cell, I seen, man, hey, man, I ain't this tough. This ain't me here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I supposed to be able to move around and do everything like everybody else. I'm supposed to be able to move around everybody. I ain't supposed to be in this category right here.
Yeah.
And being back there studying, getting knowledge, man, reading and getting my mind together made me grow up. I grew up alone. I grew up in prison alone. It wasn't a thought of others or people trying to put it in my head. I grew up alone and like, hey, if I gotta be here, this ain't the way to do the time.
Right.
And by me growing up like that there, man, when I did come out of sin, I was on a whole different level of thinking. Did I have some fights when I got out? Yeah, I did. But the thing about it is, I looked at life and I looked at a way of doing time different.
And what kind of difference did you see?
I seen, man, that, hey, I have a mother. I have brothers. I have a sister. I have family. They can't see me like this here.
Wow.
My mama done told me the first time in the scene, when she had to come in and they shackle me down, bring me out there. She said, I can't keep seeing you like this here. So, you know, I gotta start thinking about it like this here. Do I want visits? Do I want to see my family? Do I want to be able to move around and be able to, you know what I'm saying? Go to the child hall eat or then bring it to me.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to start making choices, man. Choices for not just me, for others.
Already. Yeah, that's kind of hard to do too, man. But I, you know, I'm listening to you talking and I'm flashing back on. Like I said, I did. The longest spread I did was 5, but the hardest spread I did was 2.
Yeah.
And I look back on the 2 years and I'm hearing a lot of the stuff you're saying. I'm seeing it in the place where I was at Hutchins, and then they sent me to Huntsville. The only 2 places I was in that whole 2 years. So when you talk about the visits, it brings me back to, you say they shackled you up and everything, and all this just to walk you up to the visit center.
Yeah.
You
And your family got to see
and your family see that. Now, when they do that type of shit, is your biggest thought like this is embarrassing, or I need to do what I got to do to get back home?
Nah, I looked at it like this here, man, that it's real embarrassing, man, to the fact is that, you know, your mama don't never think, I don't care how much wrong you do in life, you ain't never the bad person when it comes to mama.
Right.
So I looked at it like this here, man, that, hey, man, I gotta do better for her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta do better for her, man. I gotta be a better person for her.
Yes.
If I don't be nothing for nobody else, if I don't be it for myself, I gotta be better for her.
Absolutely.
And by me making them choices, man, I had to start thinking, man. I started thinking, man. I started reading. I started getting knowledge on who I was as a man,
Yeah.
a black man. So when I started getting knowledge on who I was as a black man, I started thinking better, man. I started using my words better, something that I growed up out. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I started respecting others as I respect myself.
Hey, man, that's a matter.
And by me growing up, man, it took me to another level, man, that I started receiving a lot of more respect than I thought I should get. You know what I'm saying? I started getting more respect. That's when I started getting involved with the officers. You know what I'm saying? See, one thing about it is when you're in prison and you start getting the respect from the officers of your character, you're gonna be real with it. Ain't no numbers on what you can do.
Already. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's hey man, that's saying a whole lot. But now, how long did it take you to get to that point? How many years did you go through
Before I got to the point where I was knowledgeable of everything, man, I say, man, it took me 7, 8 years in.
7, 8 years.
But the thing about it is, it took me 7, 8 years in, but it didn't take me 6 years and 4 months for me to come up on that 25. So I'm way over that. I'm looking at a 3-year setup right now. I'm doing that 3-year setup. So now I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? my mind was framed like this here, man. Shit, I gotta go do 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it like I wanna do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know
that's
what
my
I'm saying?
side. Yeah.
But once that time starts sinking in, you like, you been gone 7. Man, it's time to come home.
Already.
This ain't your home. But the thing about it, you already made a bed.
Yeah.
You an aggravated offender, and you down here being aggravated. So if you an aggravated offender, you down here being aggravated, set them off again. Woo. Set them off again.
How about it, man? That's cold. Now let me ask you this. We're gonna kind of go back before we go forward again. So a lot of people who ain't never been to jail or been to pen and everything, they have visions and images of either they done saw it on TV or they done heard about it and shit like that. So somebody who done been there in the real world. Now, the first thing they say when you go in, you gotta prove yourself. Do you feel that to be true?
I'm gonna say this here. I grew up in prison in the early 90s. It was like that.
Yeah.
It was like that to the fact you had to prove your point to a point is like this here. You from side Alex. I'm from side Alex. You been here. But you can't hold me down.
Right.
I gotta be my own man. So at the end of the day, it ended up like this here, that I had to prove myself, not my homeboy. Like that's my partner from the hood, that's my partner now. I had to prove myself.
Yeah.
I had to be my own man. So back then it was like that, man. When you say a gladiator, it was like that to the fact is that hey, you had to hold yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to hold yourself on, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you didn't know how to box, you didn't know how to fight, they out there training all day.
All day long. Yeah, they're waiting on your turn.
You better get in line. Get in line and learn.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no guns in here.
Right.
Ain't no guns in there, man.
Okay, so now the second thing on TV is always somebody getting raped, homosexuality type shit. And honestly, when I was in Huntsville, I didn't see none of that. But when I was in TDC, I actually saw a dude get raped, but it was, if I recall right, he put himself in a position. It wasn't just like I'm gonna rape him just because he a newbie.
Yeah.
Or he'll pull up is what they used to call it, pull up. This cat got raped because of some debts he owed and a bunch of shit he got himself into, but the bottom line is he did get raped.
Yeah.
And I did witness it. Now, during your whole experience in penitentiary, did you ever see anything like that, come across anything in them situations?
Man, I'm gonna tell you like this here, man, that you had those that got raped. I done been in a situation where I seen somebody get their butt took in the county jail.
Damn, the county?
Yeah, in the county jail. You know, listen, we wasn't in no county jail where it was 15 blacks, 10 whites, 10 Mexicans. We was on the tank where everybody's black and everybody's aggravated. Some people had emotional feelings when they did stuff like that already, but that's a category of something that I never involved myself in. To the fact is, man, that ain't me.
Right on. Right on.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the extorting thing, taking stuff from people. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that heart to take. Man, I'm a giver.
Alright. And I know while we on that subject, you ever heard of this cat Fleece Johnson? I think he did 40-something ag, and he actually he got famous off of raping people.
No, he was in Texas?
He's not in Texas. I think he was in Atlanta.
No, I never heard
But
of
this dude done made a whole career. They put him on TV. He Boondocks made a cartoon about him and all this shit here because he said he liked booty and that's what he do. He take people booty.
Yeah, see, one thing about it is like this here. See, that's what people have to look at it like this here. You have to listen to a person, what a person will say. Hey man, it's like, you feel like it's okay to take something sexually take something from a woman or a man, what do you think you stand at as a person?
Yeah, how does it make you feel about you?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I ain't never heard of it, you know what I'm saying? If I did, I probably wouldn't even study the situation on because them type of people, I won't want nothing to do with people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that at all. I'm not with that take it from raping a woman. I'm not with none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with none of that there because I feel like one thing about it, if we have a conversation, me and this woman talk, and she don't agree, I'm not gonna agree.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I feel like he a very sick person.
Oh yeah, I definitely think he's sick.
And for them, this is the thing about it, for them to give him credit and to put him on TV to give him all this here, you know what I'm saying, man? Y'all sick with him.
That part, that's the very reason I brought that up. I was gonna ask you how you feel like, don't that kind of, to me, that's in a weak signal.
Yeah,
that's in a, oh man, I don't even know how to really do it, but you know, that's one of the things when people who ain't never been to jail, they hear about shit like that. And one of the first things somebody gonna wanna know is what you went through with that. You know?
I ain't never been there. See, one thing about it is I can say this here and I can look at this camera and tell you this here and I can say, I ain't never been there to homosexual shit. I ain't never involved myself in that there. But then guess what, man? Everybody that did time with me, they'll tell you the same thing. That ain't never been my character. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right on.
I got a son that's 18 years old right now. Was born in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, was born while I was locked up.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? His mama was a dog.
Oh, really?
You hear what I'm saying? Man, you know, I ain't never put myself in that category because I know one time, man, what's done in the dark gonna come to the light.
Sooner or
You
later.
know what I'm saying?
Sooner or later.
If you down there messing with them boys, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be uplifted out here in this world, you understand? If somebody gonna know something, and somebody you done time with gonna speak.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, shit, let's move past that shit. I brought that up because, like I say, everybody always associate that with going to the pen. You know, you either gonna have to fight to not get it, or either you're gonna become a part of it, or whatever.
I don't believe that's a true statement.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I mean, I don't think so either. I haven't been there.
Nah. See, the thing about it, you didn't been locked up before. You know one thing is like this here. It's how you carry yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know one thing. Before you let another man change the status of who you is,
right on.
Somebody gonna be in trouble.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of weak-minded people in here, man, that fall short. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I ain't the advantage type. I don't take advantage of the weak mind.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? But they fall short. You know what I'm saying? But they had a choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That same situation that got you locked up, you made that choice.
You made that
Before
choice.
you let a man do something to you sexually, you make that choice.
You made that choice. And I firmly believe every situation you face with us, you got a choice.
You got a choice.
It might not always be a good choice, but you got a choice.
I'm a hoe, I'm a beast, I'm a legend in these motherfucking streets. I'm a beast.